South Africa is hosting the African Growth and Opportunity Act, which began on Thursday in Johannesburg. One of the major points of discussion at this week's summit will be the underutilization of AGOA, with African members seeking to maximize their benefit from the United States government's program. The summit will see African government and private companies engage their counterparts from the U.S. about improving AGOA, the U.S Africa trade program, which gives eligible Sub-Saharan African countries duty-free access to the United States market for more than 1,800 products. In 2021, U.S. goods trade export and import with Sub-Saharan Africa totaled $44.9 billion, according to Office of the United States Trade Representative. The top exporters to U.S. were South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Ethiopia, and Kenya. And to talk about these in detail, I'm being joined on the news by Bonke Dumisa, who is an independent economist. Good morning. Glad to have you join me.
Good morning. Greeting you from mainland in South Africa in Pretoria.
Okay. Now, what is this AGOA summit all about, and why is it really significant for Sub-Saharan countries?
Well, the AGOA, that stands for the African Growth and Opportunities Act, which was enacted by former President Bill Clinton in the year 2000. It was to encourage and promote the trade between the U.S. and the African countries, not as a charity thing, but to maximize the synergy between the U.S. and African countries, because Africa is the continent of growth. So everyone must do business with them, and it has done a really good in increasing the trade between the U.S., because the U.S. is one of our major trading partners with South Africa, but now with many other countries in Africa. And as things stand, as it is now, we do benefit to the tune of about 21% of our total trade with the U.S., and that includes the motor vehicles, jewelry, and most importantly, our wines are being enjoyed by the people in the U.S. And it has also fostered the cooperation between African countries. For example, with the cars that we export to the U.S. as South Africa, the material for the car seats that we use in those cars is made in Lesotho. And another part of those cars, another component, is built in Botswana. We did not have such good working relationships when it comes to things that we are exporting involving different countries. So AGOA has really worked a lot. The problem with AGOA, unfortunately,
just hold that thought, Bonke. Bonke, just a minute, Bonke. Sorry to cut you there. Beyond what you have said, how do you anticipate the AGOA summit influencing investment and economic growth in Sub-Saharan Africa? What do you think the challenges or likely obstacles may be, in this part of the world, the African continent?
We've got less challenges than the opportunities. For the people who have been there at that summit already, they can tell you that you've got many displays by people from different countries, and it is well received. The challenges which we may face with AGOA is when it is weaponized. You remember what happened after May the 12th, when there was that thing about South Africa being said to be selling arms to Russia. And then you had many congressmen saying South Africa must be removed from AGOA. And so that whole thing died down, and some did not even want this particular event to take place in South Africa, and it is happening, and we know that South Africa will be reinstated again in 2025. So the challenges are just when politics are being brought in. Otherwise, in as far as trade is concerned, all countries are benefiting. As I said, it is not a question of charity from the US. It is a question of optimizing the synergy of trade between the US and African countries, and it's to everyone's benefit.
All right, that's the most we can take on the news. Thank you so much for your time, Bonke Dumisa, who is an independent economist. Thank you for your time on the news.
You're welcome.